Well, let's take a look what we have here. We have the Amber Tungsten. This is a disposable camera. This is unique in the fact that it has a tungsten film grade that captures unique images. And we'll talk more about that when I show you the images after we get them processed. Now the processing is at C41. And supposedly here they say it's color motion picture film. Okay, now let's see what this disposable camera has. First of all, it's got all the specifications, ISO 800, and that's interesting. Let's see what the film grain will be on that. 35 millimeter, obviously, 27 exposure, color negative. Single use, you don't open it, you just send it into your lab or open it yourself. Okay. Okay. Take a look at this. That's it. It has a nice plastic front, clear plastic, interesting, very modern appearing. Some paper on the back. Okay. It gives you all the information on flash, how to hold it down. So I suppose you would hold this down until you charge up the flash. At that point this red light would go on. Then you can take your picture and advance. We have it here on film counter, which is good, obviously. Not much to it here. There it is. We're ready to shoot. Okay, well, let's see what this thing does at an ISO of 800. Amber. Now, let me tell you more about it when I get the films here. That's what you have. Okay. Okay, the first one you see here is a tungsten film, which does not turn everything blue. As its name implies, it's amber. At 3200 Kelvin, tungsten film turns daylight images blue. You would need an 85B filter to calm down all these blues, so that's quite an appealing look to this film. Second, there's plenty of halation in the high key zones here in these shots. And that's acceptable. I like that. Number three, I'm a night photographer. I love going out at night and taking pictures. It's an addiction. So you'd figure, why didn't he take it out at night? Well, as you can see, this 800 film, even though it's a relatively slow shutter speed, it's having difficulty in Chicago shadows. Beneath the L tracks, here in this dark shot, look at that. It's all mud. I don't particularly like that. It's an 800 film. I have to point out something here is there are light leaks, and I'll say something more about them later. Here, as you can see, handling everything very nicely. There's no sweet spot. I want to particularly address the grain. For an 800 film, it does have very nice soft grain. It doesn't have a harsh grain as some 800 films do have. A very dark area here in Chicago, but it caught everything very nicely. Here I have to mention something about the viewfinder. This is exactly how I wanted this shot to be set up. I was on my bicycle. That's how I operate. I go around the city on a bicycle, and I wanted to catch him just like that. The viewfinder is spot on. Here again, I want to show you, take note, there's no sweet spot, and the grain is very attractive. Now here I am on that same day, way out in a field. Take a look here. I don't know what the speed of the shutter is. It's up to you. Got plenty of halation. It's a little blue here, I gotta admit. Look at the nice depth of field here for that lens. Another light leak right there. Okay. And by the way, these bricks, the color of these bricks is exactly this color, that school color. Let's go back to two shots. This is the regular one, and this is the one that I did a little bit of post-production. Again, this is the one you saw, regular shot, and a little bit of depth I wanted to bring out with post-production. I'm not a purist, I'll do that. What do I think about this camera? It's a good experience, I'll tell you, for what I paid for this camera. It's not expensive, but on these selling sites, you could buy a 35mm camera, but you're not paying for only that, you're paying for the experience of it. I can take the halation, I like it. I like the soft focus lens. It's not a Diana or a Holga. Those lenses have sweet spots. There's no sweet spot in this lens, that's okay. The experience of taking out an amber, beautiful picture with a good viewfinder, it's worth the money, but I would like to have them tighten up their production and not allow these light leaks. All in all, I had a wonderful time using this camera. They also make film, which is Amber Tungsten film. I think it's 35mm, maybe 120. Sorry, should have been better prepared. I will be buying that and putting it into a 35mm camera with a nice glass lens and see what happens then. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy trying one of these cameras out. It's worth the experience. It's fun. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.